Hello, I'm Bhagrishi Sanapala and I'm here to represent acoustipow, which is a short abbreviation for acoustic power. Acoustic, as we all know, is sound and power is any form of energy. And here we're going to discuss about electrical energy. And our project is all about how to convert sound energy to electrical energy and make it a substantial prime source of energy in future. So this idea was developed after seeing India's severe power crisis. As children, we all were born and brought up and were seeing a severe power cuts throughout the summer since our childhood. This is because India is in severe power shortage and has been seeing it since decades. And as we can see, March of 2022 has seen the worst power shortage ever since October 2021. March is like 1 month before, and October 2021 is due to COVID. COVID struck India really bad, and in March of 2022 is due to summers, and it's obvious that in every summer we face severe power cuts. And 574 million units of shortage was seen from March 1st to March 30th, which is a lot. In rural areas, the power cuts are really bad, and there are cases that in for 2 or 3 days there are no power at all in rural areas. So as we can see here, history of India's power shortage from 2007 to 2008, India has seen a negative of 16.6%, which is minus 16.6% of power deficit, and 2011 to 2012 it is minus 10.6%, and 2020 to 2021 it's minus 7%, and which is still in negatives. So whether it's non-renewable and a source of energy or it's a renewable source of energy, everything has to run out at one point. So no matter what source of energy it is, whereas when there is no source of power, there will be no water, there will be no hospitals, there will be no food, and there will be no livelihood. Because there'll be no water, as we know, nowadays everything is electrical, everything is based on electrical energy. The taps we use, the pump system, the drainage system, everything is linked to electricity. So no electricity means no water. And coming to food, it's everything we're eating or everything we're using in our daily lives is pre-processed and has to come out of a factory. If there is no electricity, the world will be forced to face starvation. And okay, if we even want to eat organic food, the chemicals for those food has to be generated by an industry, and industry needs electricity. Everything is interlinked, and ultimately it's linked to electricity. And there's no hospitals means there'll be no treatments. As we've seen in COVID situation, people only being able to survive if they are having this ventilator facility, and ventilator is again works on electricity. And if there is no ventilator for people, there is no ventilator facility, which means ultimately it's going to be death. So in according to research, these fossil fuels also won't last long. Oil can only last up to 50 years, and natural gas can only last up to 53 years, and coal only till 104 years. We need to find alternatives, and I agree that we also have alternatives like solar and wind power, but sound is something we need to be considering as well. So moving on to the next slide, sound, it's everywhere and every single place. So why shouldn't we use it as an energy source is what this slide depicts. And it is true, like everywhere sound is everywhere. Now I'm talking and this is sound, and and my fan is on and that is a sound. And every this earth, where there is life there is sound. Earth has so many living beings, and in our daily basis and daily activities we tend to make sound, and output of anything we do is noise. So sound can be extracted from almost everywhere humans are, from shopping malls, metro stations, concerts, clubs, music concerts, universities, industries, about everywhere. And like on earth we generate acoustic power or sound energy. We are like 7.8 billion people in the world, and 1.3 billion people alone in India. And according to reports, 2,636 million people travel by metro annually, and over 22 million passengers use railways every day in India. They use it for um, office purposes, or they use it for traveling purposes. And railway stations are very noisy. People in railway station, people might be people are businesses are there, and people will be selling some of the things. And train sounds, people, passengers boarding and departing, and announcements. It's a lot of noise in railway station, which can be used for good. And it's not noise pollution, it can be used for good. And we can see that 52% of US population attend concerts every year. So the highest attended concert was 3.5 million of people in 1997, which is huge. And in 52% of US population, as they attend concerts, you can imagine how many sources of energy will be there, like how many sources of sound will be there, like the singer, the band, the audience, the footsteps, the businesses. There'll be a lot of sound or noise sources, which an an average concert is 90 minutes long. For 90 minutes we can generate so much energy from the noise that is being made. So there's like sound everywhere, we just have to know the way to extract it. And like you can see, when compared to other renewable energies like wind, water, sound, solar, sound is abundant. Solar, the sun will be there in the morning, but in the nights there will be no source of charging the panels. Like water is going to, the water levels are decreasing in the earth day by day. It's going to be vanishing someday, obviously. And wind might be coming one day or might not be coming one day, and it might be a windy day or it might not be a windy day. So it totally depends on the climate. And why sound energy might be better than any other renewable energies. So that's what I've been trying to prove, that manufacturing of solar panels releases a lot of toxic waste, which is really harmful for the environment. Trying to extract electrical energy in a good way, we are ultimately polluting our environment. We are releasing toxins, um, which is which is going to be a threat for our lives. It's more like a threat than a help. So, and sound energy, producing it just needs a couple of equipments and sound. That is it. Just humans everywhere. As we know, the footstep energy from footsteps has been recently developed in Singapore and in German, in any part, in many parts of the world. So as that is developed, sound energy needs to be considered, is what I argue. And how can we convert? So I've done research on it. Since sound energy, nobody was really interested in converting sound energy to electrical energy. There has been no many researches on it. So I tried to extract it as much as I could, and as much as the available information is on the internet. So there have been trials before, people have tried actually making electrical energy from sound. So it's like the sound energy, the source of sound, or like the person or a train in case of railway stations. It's the source, and the sound waves will be emitted from the source, which will be converted into electrical energy by piezoelectric piezoelectric circuits. And first, a sound transducer is developed to harvest sound wave energy and convert it into useful electrical energy. It's basically a process of converting sound waves into energy using piezoelectric, which converts the sound waves into transducer energy transducer to electric energy. And also there's an alternative way, function generator, which is function generator is the basic thing that leads to a loudspeaker. A loudspeaker is again a source, is just a source of energy, and similarly it will be carry forwarded to a piezoelectric, and that can be converted into oscillator, a sound level meter in decibels, and a multimeter, anything. These are just for processing, and the ultimate output would be electrical energy. So why do we have to call this such great source of energy as noise pollution, when we can extract and make wonders like an alternate source of energy? Also, as long as humans live on earth, we can be extracting it forever and ever. So making disadvantages and advantages is the best way of leading one's life. Let's make our lives better with sound energy or noise pollution. We just what this As I've said before, it's easier to convert sound energy to electrical energy by using a piezoelectric. And also what a transducer does is vibrations by noise are converted into electrical energy. It's all simple, it's all in front of our eyes. We just have to be able to notice it and be able to take that one step ahead to make it possible. Thank you. I'm hoping to hear good news from you. Thank you.